Now, people know me for a number of different things, but of course the most important is that I have very beautiful, adorable, cute, and not very intelligent cats. I have been a huge cat fan my entire life. So today I'm excited to show you Catastrophe, a game of 9 lives. And today I'm going to show you how to play. Now, to set up the game, you'll first need to select one of these adorable, lovable cats, or a dog. And then take a player's standee and its matching die color. Then place the board in between all of the players, preferably somewhere where they can all easily reach. After that, you'll deal each player a hand of 5 cards that only they may look at, while also dealing them 2 face-up power cat cards that will be visible to the rest of the table. Then you're going to place out the remaining cards onto the table in 3 stacks. The power cat deck, the main deck, and finally, the Catastrophe deck. Now, each player places 3 yarn ball tokens onto their yarn basket. Place the remaining yarn balls onto the yarn ball sanctuary space on the game board. Place the Grim Reaper, the game's villain, on the Reaper's lair on the game board. The way the game works is that each player is playing a cat or dog of their choice, living their best life. Unfortunately, living your best life means taking risks, and that means losing some of your 9 lives. Your goal? To out-survive all of your opponents and be the last cat standing. So how do you play? All players start the game with 9 lives. If you lose all of your lives or run into the Grim Reaper on the life track, you're eliminated from the game. The game takes place over a number of turns, and each of those is broken up into 3 phases. The claw phase, the paw phase, and finally, the catastrophe phase. During the claw phase, players may play any number of cards from their hand or from the face-up power cat cards in front of them. Do this by placing it in the play area and following the instructions on it. When you're done playing it, put it face up into the discard pile. Now, you might be wondering what kinds of cards you'll be playing. In the game, there are 4 kinds of cards in the main deck: Attack, Curiosity, Ally, and Reaction cards. Each one serves its own purpose in the game. Attack cards allow cats to attack each other, causing them, or other cats, to roll a die to determine if they lose lives. Curiosity cards force a player to lose a life. Ally cards have a variety of abilities that may help you or hurt opponents, and reaction cards give players the ability to block, redirect, or steal cards that are used at any time on any turn. You can even use a reaction card to block a block, or pass an attack card or curiosity card that has already been passed. Just remember to be sneaky. They are the core of the game and you should want to play them. However, sometimes some cards will give you a power cat card. When you draw a power cat card, place it face up in front of you. Power cat cards are unique and have a variety of abilities which may help or hurt your opponents. Now, you don't have to play cards if you don't want to. Just remember that you have a hand limit of 7 cards, and in the paw phase, you'll be drawing 3 cards from the main deck and adding them to your hand. So it's a good strategy to always play down to at least 4 cards so you have room to draw and keep all 3 cards on your turn. Because if you go over, you have to discard down immediately. And this same rule applies to a limit of 3 power cat cards. Now, after the player has ended the paw phase by drawing those 3 cards, that catastrophe phase begins, and this is what makes the game particularly interesting. At the end of each player's turn, that player will reveal the top card of the Catastrophe deck, read it aloud, and follow its instructions. These cards might seem simple, but there wasn't a turn that went by when we were playing where we weren't on the edge of our seats waiting to see what the next card was going to do. They made us do wacky things like roll dice against each other or flip cards like they were coins, and at one point one of them had us laughing so hard that we forgot whose turn it was. Now, some Catastrophe cards increase the tension by moving the Grim Reaper up the life track. It's like everyone had one less life now, and you can tell that a lot of love and thought was put into Catastrophe cards because they really capture the spirit and energy of a quality indie card game. They just all feel very thoughtful and unique and different from each other. But back to the rules. You might be wondering what all of these symbols mean. The Capfinity Symbol is a symbol on a card that means you can play it anytime, even if it's not your turn, as long as the red glowy dot is not in play. These cards are designed to disrupt other players or to assist you when you're the most in need. That said, anytime there's a red glowy dot in play, all cats are distracted, and its effects are put into play immediately. No other cards can be resolved until it is. And you probably want to know what this number is. No, it's not a cost for playing it. That's the attack number. The defending player must roll this number or higher in order to successfully defend against your ferocious kitty attacks. And if they do not, they lose a life and are one step closer to the terrifying Grim Reaper. But wait, doesn't that make it feel like the game's a little random? Well, we haven't gone over everything yet, so first we need to talk about yarn balls. Yarn balls allow the player to re-roll, and they're kept in the player's yarn basket on their kitty card. But they also allow the player to force re-rolls of other players, so they can be used strategically to knock a player out of the game. When a player is eliminated, all players gain 1 yarn ball, and used yarn balls go back into the yarn ball sanctuary on the game board. When only one player remains untouched by the Grim Reaper, they win the game, and if all remaining players are eliminated together by the Grim Reaper, there are no survivors and the Grim Reaper is the winner. And that's how you play Catastrophe. So full disclosure, I was paid to make this how to play video, that way people would have the resource to learn how to play the game, but I just want to say I was genuinely very pleasantly surprised by how cute and fun the game was, and it was very lighthearted. With the right gaming group filled with lots of cat people, it was perfect for game night, and I was so glad when they asked me to make a video. You can check out Catastrophe on Kickstarter until June 4th of 2021. After that, you'll have to check out the publisher, so I recommend following them on Instagram and Facebook. Thanks so much for watching. Be bold, play games, be you. Happy gaming!